Hi, I'm Don Dertler, editor of Claims Journal. Thank you for joining us for Claims Journal's podcast. This regular video series on all things claims related is just one of several ongoing changes here at Claims Journal. We've launched a website redesign, beefed up our coverage of how AI and technology are transforming claims departments around the world, and we're now bringing you a steady stream of expert-written insight on trends and best practices in written and video formats. Stay tuned, there's more to come. Hi, I'm here with Paul Kotler with Crawford and Company, and we're going to talk a little bit about claims for the remainder of the year. Hey, Paul, thanks for being here.
Hey, Don, thank you.
Before we get started, tell us a little bit about what you do there at Crawford.
So, Don, I'm president of our U.S. Global Technical Service, part of the U.S. loss adjusting. We handle the complex commercial type accounts throughout the U.S. and also globally.
Great. Well, so I guess get right to the heart of this. Where are the big claims going to come from for the remainder of the year? We're a little over halfway now.
Yeah, that's a good question. There's a couple of areas that we really see. We pointed them out in our large loss claim review, but climate-driven catastrophes. You know, even this weekend we saw major storms in Wyoming with softball-sized hail. A month ago we saw the floods in Texas. So these climate losses or driven losses are unpredictable. They're everywhere. They're spread throughout the U.S. and not really in a geographic area like you would tend to see with prior storms in Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas. They're really spanning throughout the U.S. Secondary to that, we're coming up to hurricane season in the Atlantic. And I think we're going to see a number of hurricanes. But with that, you run the risk of fires at the same time. So what we predict is, potential black swan events is something that I call it, where you may have a couple of hurricanes. You may have forest fires at the same time out in your neck of the woods. So it's really unpredictable, but with a black swan event, that's really something that people should take note of. Along with that, you're seeing these hurricanes, which were primarily coastal. Last year, we saw the hurricane move into North Carolina, here into Georgia. So they're really very unpredictable.
Well, it sounds like a lot of high severity events. Let's talk about that for a minute. Like, what sort of high severity events do you expect? What do we expect for as far as like maybe even nuclear verdicts too? That's something I was thinking about.
Yes, on the liability side, that's an area that in a recent roundtable with chief claims officers, that was really the area that was on their mind is these nuclear verdicts. What once were small losses, and we're talking liability type losses and also property losses. Juries are coming back, and the verdicts, which used to be $1 million, are now $15 million. So that's something that's really on everyone's mind, as well as the property side going into litigation, like we've seen in Florida and a number of states. Property claims that weren't litigated in the past are now being litigated, driving up the indemnity cost.
Well, let's get to frequency. I mean, might as well cover all the bases. What do you think is going to pop up a lot in terms of categories?
Yeah, so on the frequency side, we are seeing we're not seeing a decline, but we are seeing a steady increase with the total number of claims, but the significance of the claims, we're seeing entire communities hit. Take the wildfires. It's not just a little homeowners area. It's malls, it's commercial buildings, it's hospitals. So we're really seeing those pop up, and the frequency is not just in California. It's in the Pacific Northwest, New Mexico, Texas, we had the fires. So we're really seeing a lot of that becoming larger loss events.
Yeah, I've been talking to some commercial property insurance brokers who are focused on the commercial property space in California, and they're worried about that. I know Fair Plan has done some changes to cover commercial more, but it's an issue here in California.
It's a big issue. The fires in California and then the hurricanes on the coastal communities have really tapped into each of these areas in the public sector. It's not just the commercial buildings of businesses, but you also have the public entity risk out there with schools, municipalities, universities. And every event has a very major loss in each of those spaces.
Well, what about the state of the world? And we got a lot going on. Concerns you for the rest of the year? I mean, we've got tariffs, we got public unrest, a couple of wars going on. And then, of course, the weather is coming up on us.
It is, it's something that we're monitoring closely. The tariffs, you almost have to be in tune day to day and week to week with what's going on. But the primary things we're seeing are material cost inflation. If lumber's coming in from Canada, that increased the costs in the U.S. But most of our building material comes from overseas. So the property side of the insurance claims business, we're really seeing that supply chains and supply chain disruptions with the tariffs, what's being shipped. And it's across every sector of the commercial and residential insurance claims.
Well, let's kind of summarize 2025 in a couple of words, a sentence, a paragraph, or maybe you'll need more, an essay.
Yeah, no, I think, and back to some of the earlier points, I think 2025, we're moving into hurricane season. I don't want to say it's been a benign year, but if you look at the records, there have been a lot of very significant events, from fires to floods to hailstorms. The one thing that we haven't seen yet, and we're just kind of tapping into that season, is the hurricane season. And if it's similar to last year, where we saw hurricanes move clear into the heart of the U.S., I would say, I think we're looking at significant damage. You have a lot of distribution, a lot of factories that have moved into rural areas, and when these storms move into the coast, from the coast, that's where you see big losses. And I think that's what we're probably looking forward to here in the end of the year.
Well, that gives us a really good idea, and hopefully our viewers appreciate kind of your summary and kind of just like a look forward of what's going on. Thank you, Paul, for being here.
Hey, thank you. I really appreciate it.